with Whoopi, Joy Behar, Candace Cameron Bure, Raven Simone, and Paula Ferris. Now, let's get things started.
It's Friday. So we just walked out to Live Your Life by T.I. Harris, who is our co-host today. Hey, how are you, T.I.?
You got a lot of love here.
So yeah,
it's an honor to be here.
I love the bling, baby.
You love the bling. It loves you too.
It's pretty though. It's very pretty, very attractive, especially with the collar. The whole thing is just.
She asked if it was real before she walked out here. I just had to put you on blast. She asked if it was real.
A lot of people they have copies so that they leave the real stuff at home. A lot of people do that.
You do know who this is, right?
Yeah, I do.
She's not gonna have a copy.
Now, the last time you were here, you were promoting the remake of the miniseries Roots.
Yes.
Yeah. Which was nominated for an Oscar, an Emmy.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Man, it was an honor to be a part of such a prolific project, man. We got 7 Emmy nominations, so congratulations to everybody who was involved. Thank you guys.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
great.
you so much.
And you kicked off a new season of your reality show, T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle.
Yep.
And you've added a new cast member to the family,
Yes,
I hear?
I did.
Tell us about that.
Well, this season, it leads up to the announcement of my 7th child, my baby girl, Eris. A blessing. To the entire
How old is she
family.
now? She's 4 months old?
She'll be 4 months on the 26th, yeah.
Do you bite her little cheeks? My mom used to bite my cheeks when I was a baby.
And how many have you got now, Tim?
This is 7. This is 7.
He's busy. He's a busy man.
Yep.
A full-time job right there.
Right on. Absolutely.
You also that big bed at the beginning of the show. It has to fit so many people. I love that.
So you have.
They don't all sleep with us.
Oh, okay.
Not nightly.
You can tell.
You got to make more babies. Babies can't be in the bed for
Right
now.
on. They should.
And Miss Paula,
Yes.
who just got back from the Republican convention.
Yes, I survived.
I'm glad to see you made it out alive.
By the way, you are going to have the greatest time at the convention in Philadelphia next week. It is honestly, I've covered Super Bowls. This was like a political Super Bowl, but I brought you guys gifts. I promised I would. Joy, this is for you.
Great.
This is a shirt for Joy, okay? Because I know that you're big into superheroes, so that's for Joy. Jedediah, I know you're probably going to write somebody in, but there you go. This is for you. I know. Here you go.
Thank you.
T.I. Make America great again.
No.
We'll have for you.
What I always wanted.
And this is just cat. You're a hot chick.
Chicks for Trump is
That's
good.
for you, Raven.
That's a good one.
Do with it what you want. It's not frankincense, gold, and myrrh, but I promised I would come bearing gifts, and there you have it. I was thinking of you.
So thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll use that.
It's at your feet, I've noticed.
I'll use it. Well, I need to dust my house. I'll use it. You spray a little of that stuff on it, and everything looks.
I'm going to use scissors and cut it up so that it's kind of fashionable and you don't see it all the way
I
through.
needed something to keep my campfire going.
There you go. Renew, reuse, recycle. I like all the ideas.
Right on.
Okay, well, it has been an eventful 4 days, and I'm not talking about the convention. I'm talking about the length of Trump's speech last night. It was the first time I ever saw a speech that needed an intermission. Here are a few of the highlights. Watch.
I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States. This is the legacy of Hillary Clinton: death, destruction, terrorism, and weakness. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
I alone, the Wizard of Oz, has spoken. Only he, behind the curtain, can fix what's wrong with this country.
I have never seen such a divisive figure to lead a country before. We need someone who can resolve issues and bring people together. And when he says make America great again, I'm just wondering, like, are you talking about like slavery, segregation, the crack epidemic? Like, what part of America was great for you? Because it sucked for us.
One of his children cleared that up for him, though.
Okay, well, I want to hear about it.
Didn't Ivanka? I think Ivanka or one of his children said when my dad means make America great again, or someone said, I forgot who it was, but they said...
She was impressive.
She was very impressive, but she said make America great again as if we're looking towards the future of what we used to look towards the future for.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, this is a Trump thing.
It doesn't make sense.
I remember
But
that
it was
night.
all scare tactics, negative. You know, FDR once said famously, I dated him, that's how I know this. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. This guy makes it sound like I'm going to walk out of my house and someone's going to murder me the minute I leave the house.
And let me tell you what else he said.
It's like fear-mongering. Fear-mongering.
It is. There's a couple things that I just want to point out with a big exclamation mark. He said that Trump said that he would do everything in his power to protect the LGBT community from foreign ideology. Why don't you protect us from domestic ideology? Because that is what's happening right now. That is a problem, and that is ridiculous.
But you have to admit that was a pretty pivotal moment. That's the first time that, just a second, that's the first time that a Republican nominee has mentioned LGBTQ in a speech like that. Did you know that they didn't mention God once? Yeah. God was not mentioned once, but LGBT, and I think that's a serious step for the platform. It's a serious step for the party.
The LGBT issue, though, that's not really Trump's problem. That's the party platform. When you have a party platform that has conversion therapy as part of the platform, that's a huge issue. But I'm telling you, Trump is going to, everyone's looking at him as this guy that's going to be so divisive. This guy is not a conservative. If he gets elected, and I don't think he will, he's very moderate. He is going to sway left. You're going to be surprised. This is a guy in the past who's talked about universal health care, who's talked about being pro-choice.
So
You're going to be surprised.
On his side?
What he's doing,
he doesn't know what he's saying.
He figured out how to win the primary, and he won the primary by doing this.
Why is no one taking notice to the fact that he's the most inexperienced option?
They love it.
They like that. They like that.
If you were getting your hair done, would you go to a hairdresser who never fixed a head before?
It depends on if the hairdresser I went to forever kept just digging all kinds of crap out of me over and over and over again. And I feel like that's what Republicans are feeling. People have been like this on them and not listening to their issues, and he's out there just telling all their business.
So you fix it by going to someone who's never held a political office before.
That's exactly what they
That's
You know, the other
genius.
Day, I want to say,
Genius.
The other night I was watching Michael Moore. He was on the Bill Maher show on Real Time, and he said, Michael Moore, you know who he is, right? He said that that liberals and Democrats should not assume that Donald Trump is going to lose. He said if he wins those Rust Belt states, Ohio and Pennsylvania, etc., there's a few of those, he will win. And last night, I'm watching this speech, and I'm thinking negative, nasty, hideous. What happened to Morning in America, like Reagan said? What happened to hope? And yet 57% of CNN people who were polled said it was a positive speech. So everybody out there who thinks that this is a shoo-in for Hillary, think again.
Let's not forget that he did not give his condolences to the families of the men and women that have been brutalized by police brutality, and Semi gave a little speech saying that we're going to prosecute you for doing what you're doing in retaliation. Let's not forget that he did not stand up for those families as well.
That's what politics is now, unfortunately. Politics is negative. The reason they do it is because it works. That's how he got where he is. If he had just been positive, it wouldn't have worked. Unfortunately, right now, in order to rile the base, you have to be negative. You have to go after the other guy. The more negativity, the more applause you hear from the audience, and it's not a left or right issue. It's a political issue, and people distrust politicians, and that's the reason they look at somebody like Donald Trump, and that's the reason that Bernie Sanders has a shot, even though he is a politician. He's sort of outside the fray. People distrust the system. Anyone, if I were to get up and say, I'm running for president, people would be like, yeah, because she's not a politician.
Yeah, but
Why trust me over Trump, too?
You can write her in if you want to.
You know what? I just might do that.
Write me in?
Right on.
Okay, we have to go. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Coming up, the reality star looking for a good Christian man who doesn't mind her past in porn. Could the ladies let it go? Donald Trump and the Republicans went first. Now, it's Hillary Clinton and the Democrats' turn.
The stakes are high.
And we've got your convention view right here.
You never know what's going to happen.
Whoa! Politically speaking, things are about to get hot.
Watch this show.
It's The View, next week on ABC.
Back. Now, the other day, a video was released of a police officer shooting an unarmed black mental health worker who was caring for a patient with autism. He had his hands up, and he told the policeman what he was doing, but he was shot anyway. And when he asked why, he asked the policeman, why did you shoot me? The policeman responded, I don't know. That's what he said, I don't know.
Well, the chief of the police union came out and said that this guy did everything right. It was actually the acting police officer He shot the wrong guy. He shot the guy that they were trying to protect him against. They were trying to protect him against a 23-year-old who had a toy truck.
They thought he was carrying a gun, right?
Yeah, it was a toy truck.
Can I just say this too? The cop was not, I'm going to say it. The cop was not European American. He was not European American. He was not Caucasian, white, European American. He was Hispanic or Latino of some kind. So that really does show that there's a problem within the police structure, not just people.
But I just have a question. What can we do to not get shot today? Like,
I don't know, because
on the ground, hands up.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do to not get shot?
I don't know.
See, you're pretty involved in the Black Lives Matter movement, aren't you? So
Well, yes,
what do you
I mean,
think the solution is here?
Well, I think that, you know, I feel that there has to be some sort of a federal mandate to handle these police officers who abuse their authority and take the lives of unarmed, innocent civilians, and stop letting them handle themselves within their own jurisdictions. It shouldn't be state. Just like when crack was an epidemic, there was a law specifically implemented for a federal mandate on crack, specifically because it was an epidemic, and that is the way that these killings are becoming in America. It's an epidemic, and it must be stopped.
And don't blame it on Obama like they did last night.
Oh, they blame everything.
Kind of verification process. When anyone with common sense looks at this and sees, you don't just shoot because you think something. You have to verify.
Sure.
I mean, somebody's holding a toy truck.
Sure.
It's not a gun. The job of the police officer, yes, when you're close to a situation, police officers are human beings. They're going to react. They're going to try to protect someone. But when you have a little bit of distance and you're able to look, figure it out first. Figure out what's going on. It seems like there's a quick reaction. Somebody in the police force needs to sit these policemen down and say, there seems to be like a quick reaction.
Well,
here.
you're
They're
talking
not assessing
about
the situation.
You're talking about training.
There's a disconnect in the training. Absolutely.
Which, to your point, probably if there was a federal mandate, as you say, or some kind of oversight,
Still
there would be
have to
better
have
training, like they get in the Army.
Let's stand up for the police in the good ones.
Absolutely.
There is training, and I have seen documentaries and documentaries and interviews of police officers who say, listen, it's a tough situation.
Yep.
I only have 3 seconds to respond. How would you respond? There's many things that they have to worry about, and I always worry, why is it a kill shot? Why can't you shoot him in the foot? There's reasons for that.
There's reasons.
Why
Because
can't
you
you
don't
use a
stop
taser?
somebody that
Why
way.
can't you use a
That's
taser?
why.
There's reasons for that.
Yeah.
Maybe it should only be the police. Nobody else should have anything else, and they should not have deadly weapons. We shouldn't have deadly weapons out here just roaming around in our community.
I think we're too far gone to stop that. We're just...
I believe it.
But do you have any positive feelings about what we could do going forth, because everybody has this on video now? I mean, we really see what's going on now.
Sure, but I believe it all starts with accountability. I mean, you know, policemen are humans, just as you said, and humans are going to make mistakes. But when you make mistakes, you must hold yourself accountable and move forward, like, in a progressive manner, not sweep it under the rug and try to hide it and protect the people that you know are going out here doing wrong things every day.
Yeah.
And the cameras do help.
The cameras help. And on the heels of that video, there's new footage out of Texas of the police in Texas violently throwing a female black teacher to the ground. Dash cam footage inside the car captures a disturbing conversation. She asks, why did you do it? And he says, listen to this, because black people have violent tendencies. Now that really is what you call racism, because that is a racist statement. Because you are painting an entire group of people with one brush, with one color, and that is called racism. That is bigotry.
It is called racism, but
that's what that is.
But humans have violent tendencies. It doesn't matter your color. Humans have violent tendencies.
Well, he didn't say that.
I know he didn't, but I'm saying all humans have violent tendencies. From kids, we hit things.
Sure.
From kids, we teach that. Oh, let's fight about it. It starts in the womb.
But especially any group of people historically who have been hunted and oppressed and targeted the way black people have in this country for hundreds of years, historically, eventually, they are all going to have violent tendencies. And so you have to be careful about the positions and the things that you put, the positions you put people in, and expecting them to just roll over and accept it.
But at
it
the
isn't
same
realistic.
time, you shouldn't combat fighting with fighting, because there's some cultures who get blocked down and don't combat fighting.
Is there a conversation to be had with law enforcement, especially between the Black Lives Matter movement and law enforcement, getting into a room because they're trying to protect their communities? Obviously, you know, you guys feel violated.
Snoop did that over in LA.
They did.
Has there been an effort to get the two sides into a room and come to some sort of resolution?
Well, I think that, I mean, we're open to discuss anything that will bring about change. We're open to sit down with anyone who accepts that there is a problem and it needs to be addressed seriously. If you have a sincere passion for moving forward forward progressively, we're interested in sitting down and speaking with you about it.
I think it would help if members of the police came out and condemned police acts that were bad.
Yes.
And also members, you know, we look at Black Lives Matter, and there are some small components of that movement that I've seen support violence. So if people in Black Lives Matter would step up and say, we're not about violence, and the police would step and say, we're not about racism, and we're not about that, the two sides would be able to unify. Because there's going to be wrong instances to be found everywhere, but it shouldn't condemn a whole movement.
Okay, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back with some more.
What are the biggest turnoffs that would take sex off the menu for the ladies? Their dating deal breakers later.
Welcome back. Now, former star of the reality show Teen Mom, Farrah Abraham, enlisted millionaire matchmaker Patty Stanger to find her a guy, okay? She says she's looking for a good Christian man who doesn't mind that she used to be a porn star. Is that a deal breaker for anybody here? You're a good Christian girl, Paula. Would you ever date or marry a porn star?
Yeah, I would. Because that's, I mean, the faith is all about redemption and grace and starting over. And if you actually look at the lineage, if you guys look at the lineage of Christ, up the line was Rahab, a prostitute, and that goes to show you the profound forgiveness that's for everybody.
All right,
This is true, but let's bring it to earth, though. Those are the thoughts of heaven. Let's bring it down to earth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
I mean, maybe for the first, the fun months, you know what I'm saying? But when it's time to meet parents and, you know, and actually go to kindergarten classes, and I can't, I mean, but it's someone for everyone, just not for me.
You would never be able to date a former porn star. Never.
There are certain, like he said, there are people for everyone. There are people in the porn industry that do get married and have lives inside and outside the porn industry.
It's just a job, right?
It's just a job, and it's one of it is just a job.
It's the oldest profession.
It is the oldest profession.
Understatement.
And
No, it's
women,
not.
It's a lot of jobs.
And women.
First of all, prostitution is the oldest profession, not
porn star. You're right.
Prostitution is the oldest profession.
And the women are in charge there. And there's so many women that run the production companies out there that have married their production partner and gone forward and done amazing things within their industry. And I think it's spectacular. Go ahead about your business. Make that money.
Tendencies is one thing. Like, if you know, you can marry someone with porn tendency.
That's in the private.
So what's that? Is that like him? Or is that like...
One of those.
I don't know. I mean, just like qualities and abilities of not actually, you know.
Talent. Porn talent.
Porn talent.
He means talent.
Stretching.
Is it because you have a problem because he's been with so many other women, or is it just?
First of all, I often wonder if I could date an actor just who kisses somebody on screen. But then I don't even want to think about women they kissed before I existed. I'm like, you kissed who? I don't like that. But if there's not, what do you say?
What about experience, though?
Serious about this.
I am serious. You mean to say if you dated someone who used to be a porn star, you happened to caught the video, you'd be like, redemption.
Okay, we're going to take a break on that very funny line, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the show. Okay, now there's a new reality show called Love at First Kiss. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Not yet.
Okay, in the show, you have to make out with someone the moment you meet them. Steve, then decide if you want to take the relationship any further. So first the kiss, then the
then a speed dating round, and then you get to go on a super date with them or something.
But is the first kiss, can you tell much from a first kiss in a relationship? Do you remember your first kiss?
I do. I think it's everything. I feel like, well, my first kiss came after the guy I'm dating. We did a bunch of really romantic walks. Like we went to the Brooklyn Bridge and we did all this cool stuff. But I didn't know how I felt about him until the kiss, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm going in. I'm going in.
I think it was actually the other way around.
Yeah, but this is the opposite. First you do the kiss, then you throw him off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Nah, I didn't throw. I didn't throw.
It's been so long. I mean, it's been so long. I mean, you know what? Someone actually did try to sneak a kiss in at a show in San Diego, and I had to curve them.
Oh, wow. They jumped on the stage?
I mean, I had a phenomenal curve. No, I was actually on my way out, and they like right at the perfect time when I was talking to someone, and then I turned back to walk, and there they were. You know, boom, and went straight for the lips.
Oh. Wow. So what did you do? What did you do?
Wait a minute. And, you know, I continued.
Was it a woman or a man?
It was, it was definitely a woman. It was definitely a woman. I guess you do.
You have to ask that nowadays.
I guess you do. A man did get so excited one time a while ago and kissed me on my cheek. I was taken aback. Excuse me,
But
sir.
that's like a holy kiss.
Love and
kind of.
affection.
You know,
Excuse
like the mwah, mwah, they kiss on the cheek. That's a little bit more of like
A kiss is a kiss is a kiss. I don't, you know.
Oh, honey, I kiss.
Men get uptight. Men, a lot of guys get uptight when a man does that. But if
Yes.
a woman comes and kisses me, I don't think anything of it.
You enjoy
Well, you're a
it.
woman.
I do.
Do you like it when I kiss you?
I've made out with many women on this show.
Yes.
Jane Fonda, lips stuck on my lips. They should show that video.
If you want us to
assaulted
kiss
me.
you, just ask, Joy.
What?
If you want us to kiss you, just ask. Politely.
As if you haven't backstage, Paula.
Can I just say, I do remember my first kiss. I was 15 on spring break. Sorry, Mom and Dad. With a girlfriend, and I met some guy at a movie theater. But my first kiss with my husband, I still remember we were in college. I was a senior. He was a sophomore. We were off-campus housing, and we were upstairs in my room just talking. And he asked me if he could kiss me, and it was very sweet.
Well, at least he asked.
He did ask.
That was polite.
I know.
15, they were already-
And I said, "Bring it on, baby," when he asked.
Oh my
Okay, the
goodness.
kiss, that is.
Okay. Whoa.
Okay, here's another question then. Could you date someone who's a vegetarian? Now, a blogger on Pop Sugar says it's a deal breaker because her relationship with food is just too important. Now, Paula, you're a meat and potatoes kind of gal. Does meat make you make the man or no?
I love meat. It's one of my core values.
She loves
I'm a
her meat.
carnivore. I'm a
So would you go
carnivore.
out with, let's say, Sir Paul McCartney
No.
is a vegetarian?
Couldn't do it.
You wouldn't
Couldn't
date the Beatle?
Because it's not just the meat, it's the moment. You know what I mean?
It's not just the meat, it's the potatoes.
And by meat, I'm not saying a metaphor. But
I'm just wondering.
I like to go get wings and beer. You know,
Okay.
it's the moment. I want
All right.
somebody that wants to do that and share those core values with me.
I think that's
All right,
very,
really
very
fast.
disrespectful
Tell
for
me
those
your-
who don't want to eat meat. It's sad that you put
disrespectful?
I just think it is. I used to not eat meat, and if you didn't want to eat with me, I'd be like, that's rude. You like me. You're not just going to do it because you can't help that I'm having a salad and you're having a steak. Why wouldn't you do that?
I want somebody to join in my fatty tendencies.
You're
Date a
talking about her
vegetarian
boyfriend,
only
too.
if they're not like
Yeah.
my wife and force me to eat everything they're eating.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't want kale.
It's good for you. It's good for the rubbage. It's really good. It's like collard greens, but a little harder.
No, listen, T.I., have you ever had a kale Caesar salad? Delish.
You know
Go
what?
ahead,
Can I
hit it,
tell you
hit
guys
it, Raven.
something?
Yeah.
The very first Latina Disney princess makes her royal debut on the premiere of Elena of Avalor tonight at 7 p.m. on the Disney Channel. Go Disney Channel! I'm so proud of you. Elena, her name is Elena.
That's very cute.
I'm so proud of you, Disney Channel.
She's a Latina, huh?
She is
on.
from Spanish descent. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Then we're going away again, but we're coming back. We'll be right back.
Stars of the comedy critics can't stop raving about. Don't think twice. Mike Birbiglia and Gillian Jacobs next.
Don't Think Twice is the only movie this summer with a 100% approval rating from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. It follows a small improv comedy troupe struggling to make it big in showbiz. Take a look at one of their improv scenes. Watch.
Where are you headed?
I'm going to a restaurant on West 4th and Broadway.
Oh, yeah, what do you got going on there?
Blind date with a man I'll probably engage in sexual congress with.
That seems a little fast.
Thank you. I consider myself quite fast. In fact, I have abandonment issues. My father left me, so I basically only relate to men through sex.
That's challenging for me to hear.
Please welcome Mike Birbiglia and Gillian Jacobs. Hi, guys.
How are you, Joy?
See how I said that?
Sure, it's fine.
I said it Birbiglia, which is the way you say
You
it.
fought me on this last time I was
Yeah.
here.
Say
7
it
years
right.
ago. It's been a while.
What took you so long?
Yeah, it's been, people come up to me, they say, in Italy it's pronounced Birbiglia, and I say, in America, you're annoying. You're right. We just say it wrong. We're Olive Garden Italian.
Exactly.
We're not real Italian.
So I heard that you've been following the Republican convention
Well,
and
yeah.
tweeting about Trump. Read the tweet that you wrote.
Oh, is it right here?
Yeah, you have it.
I think so.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I have it. I'll read it. It says, oh, you want to read it?
No, go ahead.
When people say my jokes about Trump are too one-sided, I'm speechless. Trump doesn't have a side. He's the algae that's stuck to the side. Whoa.
And I was listening to you guys talk about it. I don't get very political, but like he really doesn't seem like one of the sides. I'm full.
You think he's right there in the center?
He's right there in the nowhere.
Oh. Right. Exactly.
And it's a weird thing to support a candidate that's in the nowhere.
The abyss.
Well, you guys did
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know if it was support, but there is there's a scene in your new movie where you do impressions of Trump. How did that come about?
It's so strange. I wrote that a year before he announced,
So it's your fault?
Yeah, I prophetically wrote the script. No, there's this scene where we all do Trump impressions because our theater we lost our lease, and it's being turned into like another Trump building, which is, as New Yorkers, we know that Trump has sort of like systematically ruined our city. And
Not according to Ivanka. He built this, he built that,
But
he
then
blocked your view here.
We do all these impressions, and actually, Gillian said to me sort of the day before we shot this, she goes, Mike, it seems like the Trump running for president thing like isn't a joke, like it might be real.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking like silly actors.
Yeah.
With their wild ideas. Of course he's not going to run for president.
Everybody thought that.
And then here we are.
Surprise, surprise. Gillian, you graduated from Juilliard, which is right over here.
Yes.
A really great school. Robin Williams went there. But you grew up in Pittsburgh, and you had a very interesting childhood, I understand. So what was interesting about it?
Oh, there I am.
Look at you.
Yeah, the doll was my only friend. I was the only child of a single working mom, so I spent most of my time with elderly people. And so my best friends were my babysitter, Mrs. Stobie, and my neighbor, Mr. McShane, who were both in their 60s. And so I was basically raised as someone born in the 1930s. Played a lot of Racco, enjoyed reading TV Guide.
Right? They love reading TV Guide.
Love cover to cover. A lot of great articles.
Bingo.
Across. Oh,
Reader's
yeah,
Digest.
bingo.
Reader's Digest. I used to do that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. It's about you.
Hints from
What were
Halloween.
you like as a child yourself?
I was very into Cole Porter and Katharine Hepburn and Shakespeare. And
She does a great Hepburn in the movie. She does a
Yes.
Hepburn
Give us a
impression.
little Hepburn.
oh, God, the calla lilies are in bloom again.
That is beautiful.
Plays very well with the millennials. They love a Katharine Hepburn impression.
Now, Mike, I got to ask you, you actually have a pretty serious sleepwalking condition, which you talked about in your movie, which was called Sleepwalk with Me.
That's right, yeah.
You've done some pretty crazy things. Like you actually walked out of a second-story window, and now that you have a daughter, she's 14 months with your wife.
Yes,
how do you handle the whole sleepwalking bit with her in the house?
It's complex, yeah. Many years ago, I jumped through a second-story window of a hotel in Walla Walla, Washington. And
On
so-
purpose?
Oh, you
No, I was
Oh, I was like, no, but
sleepwalking,
did it wake you up at all?
When I woke up when I landed. Oh, that's my
This is your
daughter.
daughter.
That was
She's
on the set of the
adorable.
movie with Lena Dunham, who
Lena.
actually makes a cameo in the movie, and then the Una. That's my daughter.
Oh, that's cute, Una.
Una Bigley, and my wife Jen is right there. But yeah, so I have a serious sleep disorder now. When I go to bed at night, I sleep in a sleeping bag up to my neck, and I wear mittens so I can't open the sleeping bag. And then I know, but on top of that, with a child, I actually have to sleep in a separate room and shut the door from the inside and lock the door.
So you're locked into your room?
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, I know. People literally go, "Wow!" It's
Can't they fix that?
You can't. It's not curable. I went to my sleep doctor yesterday, actually, and it's just I have REM behavior disorder. It's not. There's no cure, but I take medication and I take precautions.
Maybe it makes you funny because you're hilarious,
Oh,
and I think that you're also awesome as Danny Pearson in Orange Is the New Black. So maybe the sleep disorder is helping your comedy.
That's really nice
Don't
of
get
you.
rid of it yet.
I
I'm
won't,
still
I won't.
laughing.
Yeah,
Everybody's got to see Don't Think Twice. I know it's about best friends that are trying to make it with as Joy just mentioned, with an improv troupe. But what was life like for you guys before you actually made it?
I was so broke when I moved to New York. I was living on an air mattress in Queens. I couldn't afford a dresser for my clothes. Like when you're broke, everything's just low to the ground. Like you roll off your air mattress, you grab some pants from the floor, you cook noodles on a hot plate, one falls out of your mouth, you're like, it's not too far, and the only way you could get lower is if you died. But
poor is poor.
Sorry.
it is.
That was not pretty.
What about you, Gillian?
I lived in an apartment building on 207th Street in Inwood, and so when I would leave for auditions in the day, there was no way to go back and forth, so I would take 4 changes for auditions, and then I would pretend to try on clothes at the Gap so I could do my makeup in the dressing room.
Oh my God,
that's so
brilliant.
smart.
You learn all the good public bathrooms in New York as a struggling actress. Yes.
You have to.
Yeah, there we go.
That's true.
And I will tell you, do not use the one at the Starbucks in Union Square.
I know that one.
It's a portal to hell.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But now they're working with people like Keegan-Michael Key and Kate Michu.
Kate McCucci, and Chris
Kate
Gethard,
McCucci
and Tammy Sager.
The movie's amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm excited to
That's great. You two are doing great. And thanks for
Thanks.
coming by.
Thanks, Joy.
So our thanks to Mike Birbiglia and Gillian Jacobs. Don't Think Twice is in theaters tonight in New York, on July 29th in LA and Chicago and everywhere else in August. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We would like to thank Apple and Eve for providing our entire studio audience with a bottle of their 100% pure juice. T.I., first of all, thank you so much for coming. coming on. But I don't want to forget the other show that you produce, full of the hottest female lyricists, Sisterhood of Hip Hop. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that? I know they're in their second season.
This is third
season in LA.
And we basically document the lives of these young ladies as they follow their dreams and, you know, try to break into this male-dominated industry, and they do a phenomenal job.
You have a great cast.
Absolutely. Let's check it out.
People, I have a lot of trust issues, you know, and that might be why I'm feeling so pressed. You know, just being an artist and balancing all the things that I do have, but then also the business side of it.
Basically, man, you come in here, what you're saying to me is you're stressed and feel pressure because you have to make adjustments. Life is a series of adjustments. We're going to be adjusting until it's over with.
I love that. I love that.
Very good. Good luck with that.
Thank you so much.
I think you do well whatever you try, T.I., because you're
you know what?
a very substantial human being.
Well, I appreciate that, and that means a lot coming from you, Joy. I appreciate that.
It's great having you. It's great having a guy here.
Absolute pleasure. I think, you know, and it's great to be surrounded by such powerful women. You know, you guys have very, very introspective opinions.
Opinions, that's what we've got. And we have to leave now.
Oh,
we have to go.
That went by fast.
I know. It's Friday. So everyone have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the view.